I'm Tom Chigbo. I'm studying community organising, a Masters at Queen Mary. I studied an undergraduate degree in geography at Cambridge, where I've been involved in campaigning and student politics in my college and in a few clubs and societies. In my final year I got elected as the first black president of the Students' Union. I had a great time as QC president. One of the highlights was getting Nick Clegg, who at the time was leader of the Liberal Democrats, to publicly commit to voting against tuition fees when he was in Cambridge. He's now famous for breaking that pledge, and it was really, really close. It came down to a few votes when the increased fees went through, and one of the reasons that it was so close was because we had sort of the Lib Dems in a really, really tight spot because of that pledge. And that was a really, really simple action by the Students' Union, but it was very, very effective and got us a lot of media coverage. The big highlight of my year was actually campaigning to get a student advice service created in Cambridge. And for the Students' Union there, it was a really, really big issue. We'd spent sort of at least 10 years campaigning and saying this was the most important thing that the Students' Union needed, and asking the university for money, all this sort of stuff. And nothing had really happened. We've not really made any progress. Cambridge was the only Russell Group Students' Union that didn't have one of these. So it was a really big achievement to convince the university of its importance, and at a time when they're cutting other services and trying to save money, to convince them to actually increase the amount of provision they were giving to students was a really, really big achievement. So that was something that the Students' Union did really well that year. Queen Mary has just created a master's course in community organising, and I was fortunate enough to be one of the first cohort of students to complete that master's. Well, community organising is a way that it's basically a new way to do politics. It's something which is much more authentic, I feel, than sort of party politics as it's conducted in this country. You know, it involves building relationships and getting people to work together for a common good, and encouraging and enabling people to campaign for the things which really matter to them, rather than just accepting whatever a government or a business tells them is the reality. But it starts with building relationships, having one-to-one conversations with people, and out of that grow campaigns which are led from the community. Well, I've just got a job in community organising, so I've just been appointed the Borough Organiser for Lambeth. So I'm going to put my masters into practice very quickly as I start that job very soon. My family's from Nigeria. My family's Igbo, but I was born in North London and grew up there. I lost my dad when I was 11 years old, and my mum sort of raised us, me and my brother and my sister, on her own from that time, and was really dedicated and really strong in doing that. I was encouraged to have ambition and to not let whatever circumstances I was in, socially, economically, define, where I'd end up. And that was really, really important for me, and I think that's encouraged me to kind of always push myself, to always aspire to do the best, really. I don't really have very strong career plans, but I think I have things I want to achieve, and there are things I'd like this country to do differently. And so hopefully in 10 years' time those things will have happened.